So we did have a couple good questions. One of them was actually just basically, why we're doing this. So just in case we didn't make that real clear, we're doing this research because everything that comes up in these results are potential audiences that you can target on Facebook, just in case you weren't clear on that. Okay. However, they're not all going to show up in the Ads Manager. So, for example, if we do this search and we keep doing it, we use Audience Insights, and let's say you come up with 50 potential audiences. Maybe 32 of those are actually, maybe 30 of those are targetable. They're going to pop up in the Ads Manager. A lot of them aren't. Why? They might not have a big enough fan base, something else, random reason, I don't know. So basically, if it's not in there, then you're not going to be able to target it yet. Sometimes it'll be added later. So basically, how many people got a list of 10 or more? Raise your hand. 10. Okay. What's that? 10 or more. Okay, cool. How many people got a list of 15 or more? Okay, cool. What about 20? 20? Come on. Might have to keep going. We should. Our goal should be 10 to 20 for now. 10 to 20 is fine for now. If you have an audience, like for example, Jamie. Okay, so Jamie Tardy has the Eventual Millionaire podcast, she has a massive audience of organic following, one of the best podcasts out there right now. She interviews, I don't even usually name them off. Name anybody that's successful, and she's basically interviewed them. So it's pretty cool to have her here in the first place. She's from Austin. And so Jamie's audience, I told her just now, your potential audience is to target. In her case, a lot of it's retargeting because a lot of people know who she is already in a lot of these audiences, but probably should be over 100. Her spreadsheet. One of our clients that we manage, how big is our list? 230 with Bill? Oh. Our audiences on the spreadsheet of our basically audiences. Oh, God, yeah. It's like 230, 250. So what you're going to do is you're going to get these, you're going to start running some ads, and then you're going to use your data, and you're going to find out which ones work best. So you're not going to know, this is not going to tell you which ones are going to work best. You're going to have a pretty good insight on which ones are more intent-based, like Ralph was talking about, but you're going to want to go through a lot of them. And for example, Bree over here, her brand online is Betty Rocker, and she's built a massive organic audience similar to Jamie Tardy, but not using a podcast, using basically Instagram mostly, right? Yep. Short YouTube videos. She's got 127,000 Instagram followers. And these are rabid followers. She makes a post on Instagram or Facebook, she gets 1,200 comments within an hour or two usually. And she can sell a lot of products. She's built that organic following. So if you guys have any questions on like organic stuff, those two are the people I would talk to and at the breaks and stuff like that. And we were talking about doing some ad copy. I'm actually going to ask Bree to give a little insight on that because she knows what people respond to and what people don't. She's very good at the communication side of that thing. But in their cases, they're going to build a lot of audiences, but you're going to focus on starting out an audience that there's a good chance that they might already know you. They might not be your fans or your custom audience, but they might be somebody else. Like Jamie, it could be like Pat Flynn or somebody like that they like Pat Flynn, but a lot of his audience likes her. So
sometimes when I was going around to a couple of teachers, sometimes your audience that you think is your ideal target won't show up. It's just sort of the way that it is. I mean, they might have a page, but it might not show up in Audience Insights. We actually had that issue. And then we realized we were in the United States, and it's a UK-based company, so that does change too. We still couldn't find anything there. But sometimes it's a little bit too narrow. Facebook doesn't have everybody in these, but you can typically get good interests or potential targets with graph search. People who like, or pages liked by people who like blank, or interests liked by people who like. Those are the two we use. Pages liked by people who like, and then do some overlays sometimes, or interests liked by people who like. And then take that data and then push that into Audience Insights. And then you get even more refined data. Like I was saying before, like in the triathlon niche, what apps do they have? What software do they download? What equipment are they buying? It's all there in Audience Insights. So you get it kind of from graph search first. Keep trying. Sometimes it happens on the first try, sometimes it doesn't. but then push that into Audience Insights, and then create this list of potential targets, because those are going to be interesting. You can then target. We're going to be using these. If you didn't create any interests, you're not going to have a whole lot when we start creating your ads or adding on, if you're already running ads, to help you get even better results.
And here's another one. Kendra, here's one for you. You can use. I told you to go to Amazon. If you're starting to get stumped, maybe you can go to Amazon and you can search for different books that authority figures have written, and then you can see other books that people buy. We use Amazon too. We're not going to cover that today because this is more important. But you can also use Facebook. Books read by people who like the art of nonconformity. And it will show you different books that people read, okay? And that's going to really help. A lot of different searches you can do in this. You can also get granular here. You guys, you can search for people. So if you want to really take some time or you want to hire a VA to do this, you can do something like this.
What if you were selling a book in this niche? Don't you think targeting books liked by people who like books that are similar to a book that you know is similar to yours would be a good target? Maybe not a TV show, maybe not a podcast, but a book. That's a huge revelation. It's like the most simple thing sometimes. And I've made that same mistake many, many times. We're trying to sell a book for a particular client, and we never used books that were similar to these. And all of a sudden we started using it, we started getting good results.
So you can do individual, like for example, if I want to go people who live in Austin, Texas and like the eventual millionaire, Jamie, by the way. So you can do this search and you can start searching people in Austin who like your page and live in Austin, right? And then, or if maybe you have a local business, then you can go down and I can click on Brett Shoemaker and start to look what other pages he likes. And you can go deep. You can take all day to do this, and I wouldn't recommend doing this. I would recommend hiring out if you're going to do this. Like I said, 80-20, you don't need to go this deep. That's just way down the road. Or if you want to hire somebody to do it, it's stuff that you can do. So,
Okay, question?
Yep.
Can you search for people that like a particular book?
Yes, exactly. That's basically what I just did just now.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Yeah, you can do the same thing. People
Or I would put that in Audience
who
Insights.
like,
The name of the book is
um,
on the Audience Insights part.
Think and Grow Rich.
people who like the 4-hour workweek. But I could say, now it's going to show like Devaney Freeman. She's from Seattle. So it's going to show her because I have a lot of friends that like her. It's going to try to personalize that to you. But I could put and live in wherever. You know what? I could do this if I'm going to do a local event. I could do that, people who like these pages. And then I could go and I could have somebody scour these people and try to invite them personally to an event if you wanted to go deep. There's a lot of things you can do here if you want to really spend the time. Okay, but what we want to do is we want to use the resources. We want to 80-20 this, use the stuff that's going to get you the quickest results fast, get your offer right, start running ads. Okay, guys? This stuff was cool, but it's just going to slow you down.
Yeah. We
So-
can do this all day, but we're going to do 2 resources. Use those 2 resources, and let's move on to the next.
Yep. So now, let's talk about the indoctrination. Let's see here. Okay. The indoctrination is step 3 on the 9-step checklist. Okay? This is your lead magnet. This is your Facebook offer. This is your hook. The reason why they're going to click on that post, or the reason why they're going to click on that ad that's in the right column. This is key. This is very, very, where's my clicker at? Very important. Here it is. A lot of times we'll have an onboarding call with the client. We're planning on going over a lot of the crossing the T's, dotting the I's, figuring out their avatar, making sure tracking's right, all this kind of stuff. But we end up spending a lot of time on this in most cases, and end up having to do more calls before we can really start running campaigns, because we've got to figure out how to make the lead magnet Facebook appropriate. Okay, that's what we call it, a Facebook appropriate offer. And let's just go through some examples. Checklist or cheat sheet. Okay, this is an example of a lead magnet that I've used for a long time. Just a Facebook checklist. It used to be 9, then it was 8. Now it's 8 most critical things you must do to profit from Facebook. Okay, checklists work really well.
So just to back up just a second.
Yeah.
You've done like who your audience is, who you're going to target. Now you got to figure out a way so that you're not that guy at the party. Okay? Give them something that's of value Sometimes an opt-in, which is a name and email, it's the most popular one that we have, but there's tons of other lead magnets. If any of you guys were at the digital marketer thing here the last couple of days, they do great stuff, but there's all kinds of lead magnets, what we call indoctrination, because it's not necessarily a swipe file or an ebook or something like that in exchange for email. It could be a lot of different things. So this is sort of your first or maybe your second contact, but this is the thing that all of a sudden you built up some trust, and now they're going to say, all right, well, let's exchange business cards. That's really what this is here. So it's the first step in the process.
And what we found is give them something simple and easy, okay, like a micro commitment. What we want to do is we want to get them moving. And then our goal is to use the lead magnet to, in most cases, get their contact information and move them to the next step, where you can now really build trust, build authority, and then move them down into your sales funnel. So I'm always going to preview examples with lead magnets with most cases, because every situation is different. That's why I spent quite a while talking about how to really sell on Facebook and why you need to understand how to sell. So in most cases, it's great to have something very simple, easy to consume, that segues to the next step. Because guess what? If somebody's looking to plug a leak, if your ceiling's leaking or something like that, what are they going to do? They're going to go to Google and they're going to search for a plumber, right? That's like they used to go to the yellow pages, now they go to Google. Facebook is basically the online party or event, okay? It's social, so guess what? People are at a party, they might not, you might know how to target your exact ideal audience, somebody that likes some of these specific wrestling categories, but guess what? They might not be laying awake at night thinking about how they can get better at wrestling. It might be a passion of theirs, but they're not laying awake at night because it's not something that has to be, it's not a problem right now they have to solve. So what your goal with Facebook is to knock them upside the head with your indoctrination and kind of give them an aha moment of why they need to be thinking about what you provide. So your goal is to basically educate them on what they might be missing out on, okay? A problem that they might have but they don't really realize, or a passion that you might be able to let them kind of achieve if they only knew more about this, and then all of a sudden your brand or product is the solution. It's probably confusing, but we'll give you some examples and it'll start to make sense.
Really different than search. Just think about Google AdWords, search, you're searching for that. You know that you want that thing. So you search for it, and then there's ads and then there's organic results. Facebook, it's not like that. Sometimes these people don't know that you even exist, and they don't know that you have this product. I mean, Steve Jobs, nobody knew that everyone in the world needed an iPad. I mean, he could have sold that pretty well on Facebook, probably, but But my point is that nobody really knows that you exist in most cases. It's a very different type of mindset. People are not actively searching for you. But if you target correctly and you put your message in front of the right audience, they'll be like, "Whoa, I never knew that existed. Hey, that's pretty cool. Let's exchange business cards. I want more of that information." Whatever that thing is, whatever that piece of value is.
Yep. So checklist, cheat sheets. There's another checklist. How to explode your coaching business using one-to-many selling strategies. Includes 3 case studies and 4 bonus videos. In this case, original offer, lead magnet, was 4 free videos to scale your coaching business. How to go from one-to-one to one-to-many. How to increase your coaching revenue from $20 to $40,000 a month. But we changed it to, we've tested tons of different lead magnets in this case. This is one of them that we're using. This is the latest one. Should we go into detail on that one after we go through all the examples, maybe?
Yeah, it's just a sort of case
Yeah.
study.
Yeah, we can kind of show the process that we went through to adjust that. We changed it from the 4 video series to a webinar checklist because they were already delivering that. And then now we changed it up a tad bit to get ads approved with Facebook, and it's ended up actually increasing conversions. In this situation, we went from 11.58% up to 47% opt-in over a 3-month period. So we quadrupled the amount of leads we're getting now with this client by completely testing the lead magnet.
We lowered his cost per lead from like $17 to like $3.
Yeah, and that didn't happen until
Really
we...
super targeted, because it's something really specific. Don't
But-
try to sell everybody to everybody, or everything to everybody. It's just one thing.
There's lots to it. Notice in this case, this isn't a great screenshot. It's cutting out some of the details, but that right there says 63K in a day. He's got like 4 screenshots of text messages or Facebook posts that are showing massive results that he delivers. In his case, we wanted to use video testimonials to bring people to some of the squeeze pages, but they didn't have any good ones. But they've got this other proof content. So we made this really ugly landing page, and it kills every other one. But people's
Keith designed that.
yeah, it took like 5 minutes, but it's. I use Keynote. Serious, black, yellow background, and it looks better online because you can see more of it, but it's because you can see the numbers. Okay, let's go to the next one. So, it's toolkit free resource guide. If any of you guys have lead pages, you've probably maybe seen some of this that they're talking about. You know, their best lead magnet they ever used was basically this is what I copied from Lead Pages. The 5 tools I use to create all my Facebook ad campaigns, 3 are free. And then the parentheses. There's some subtle ad copy stuff going on here that we can kind of let you guys give you a little insight while we show you about lead magnets too. For example, if you're doing a basic squeeze page like this, which work really well on Facebook, because remember, we can use curiosity, and they're not actually searching, so you got to have something very specific and simple. But ... 3 are free. That kind of stuff works really well. And then the parentheses too. So that's proof, credibility. And then the 3 are free. There's different ways to do that. And I'll show you another example, I think, in a second here. Swipe file. It's similar to the 5 tools, right? Lead Pages, they talked about using the 5 pieces of video equipment that they've used for all of his videos. And same thing with my 5 Facebook tools. Then you've got swipe file. Okay, notice the common theme here. These aren't tips. These aren't trainings. Now, that works with some lead magnets, but in the last couple I'm showing you, swipe file. These are things that somebody can just take and use. Copy, paste. Okay? Tools. Wow, 5 tools. Now I have tools I can add to my arsenal, right? The ultimate social media swipe file. This is one of the best lead magnets that Digital Marketer has ever used. They continue to run this ad to this day. There's a lot of reasons why this works. Okay?
Copied like thousands of times.
Yeah, now
You
the
guys
people.
were at a conference, it's copied for the election.
Yeah, I've seen this exact template with somebody else, but it works because you've got copy and paste these 72 proven headline formulas. It's the example of, for example, if you have a business where you're helping people dating in relationships. If you're helping somebody, let's say you're helping men get more dates, right? I would rather, instead of saying 7 ways to get more, to book your calendar, book your black book, and never go out by yourself again. Instead of having something like that, or even another one that's even better than that, instead of having something like the 3 tips on how to approach any woman at any bar and get a date. That sounds pretty good, right? But even if
you've been rejected 100 times before.
But I would rather have, click here to download this 17-word pickup line that will guarantee any girl in the bar will let you buy her a drink. Even if, what'd you say there?
I was rejected in my life.
Yeah. Even if you've never gotten a date in your life, right? Something like that. So the point is the difference between 3 tips to get a date or 3 it's the specific 17-word pickup line, right? It's 72 proven headlines. It's 212 blog post titles. This stuff, guess what? I'm going to opt in for that, even if I don't know who you are. I don't have to worry about scheduling 2 hours out of my day on Wednesday to register to watch a webinar. I don't have to watch a 20-minute video. I don't have to go through a 21-day email series or a 7-day email series. Granted, you want to deliver all that stuff. But right now, if you want to get the highest opt-in on Facebook, if you want to get 40% opt-in or 50% opt-in to cold traffic, you do something like this. Then the next page, remember on my 9-step funnel, step 4, the thank you page, if you're going to use something like this, you're going to get high opt-in rates, but now you've got to deliver the value. You've got to build trust, the next step. So if you're going to use these, remember, it doesn't stop here. The next goal is to have a good video on the next page or something like that. Maybe it's a webinar registration on the thank you page, okay?
Write this one down. This is, I think, could be. Rob does. But, a lead magnet is an offer, it's an ultra-specific solution to an ultra-specific market. It's an ultra-specific solution to an ultra-specific market. Look at this. Who is the market, do you think, here? Anyone? Jerry, take a guess.
Social media managers, social media. Somebody trying to grow their business with social media. Yeah.
What kind of targeting do you think they use on a page like this? Social media, jobs. This is the class participation. Social media, right, and then you go into like audience insights, social media, who else, and the Amy Porterfield. You know, I mean, you don't have Mashable, a bit too broad, but it could be. But anyway, it's an ultra-specific solution to an ultra-specific market. They're not selling this to BizOp. They're not selling this to people who are interested in, you know, dating. It's ultra-specific to an ultra-specific market. So.
Another one is one specific tip. We're still along that same theme. The one stock you need to own for the coming no-choice energy revolution. Motley Fool is one of the pioneers of the whole squeeze page because they run hundreds of millions of dollars in ads all over the internet. And it's not 10 tips to increase your portfolio, or it's not top 5 strategies to get a 30% return or something like that, right? Those are all great and they might deliver that value after they opt in, but the opt-in is one stock. So now you've got something you can put in your toolbox. That's the key. That's the key takeaway. You can take an opt-in from 12% to 47%. Okay? You can't
It's not 27 stocks. It's one ultra-specific market. Okay? But the second part of that is it's got to be, you want to eventually sell something, right? So this should be a little piece of ultra-specific information that then the logical solution will be, well, I've got all this other stuff that if you're interested in this, you're probably going to need this as well. So it's got to be related back to your ultimate offer, what it is that you're selling.
Yep. Okay, so this is, we just kind of made, this is a, I don't even know if this is the right name, we're trying to think of something, but we call this an inclusion offer. Yeah. So this is a, yeah, exactly. So provide feedback, get the program free. That's the opt-in, okay? This is targeting people that are diehard triathletes, doing a lot of market research that we just showed you guys. So in this situation, there's definitely some curiosity going on here because what's the program, right? Because there's warm traffic. But this is going out to a lot of cold traffic. Most people don't know who they are. Okay. Now, there's ad copy that gives you a little bit more detail before they get here. A little bit, but not a whole lot. And we'll show you that here when we get into ad copy and creative. We'll show you the ad that kind of goes to this. Okay. Right after, during lunch. So, but basically, provide feedback. So you know how everybody wants to give their feedback? Bree, you can probably touch on this, right? Everybody loves to give their feedback, right? So if, the posts that sometimes have a tendency to get a lot of response are people that are giving their input. So in this case, it's they're giving you the program for free if you kind of go through it and then tell them your stats. And plus, it's athletes; they're very competitive, stuff like that. So webinar. Okay, we just did this one. A lot of you guys were probably on this. There's a pre-headline that you can't really see. It just says Facebook ads webinar or something like that, I believe. It's tough for the screenshot. But the main headline is 3 big game-changing enhancements you must be tapping into right now to truly profit from Facebook. Okay, this is a great template, by the way. Right now, according to Lead Pages, this is the highest converting webinar template. But remember, if you're using Lead Pages, when you're ordering Lead Pages templates in order of conversion, be careful because you got to realize you don't know where the traffic's coming from. Most of the webinars are warmer traffic. So that's why if you're going to ice cold traffic, you might be better off with a video landing page webinar. But that might be the fifth one rated in the rankings of highest converting webinar templates because most traffic is warm. So you got to remember, take everything with a grain of salt and understand the whole information around it. So
What was the opt-in rate on that?
this one actually is, it's at over 70% opt-in rate right now for this page, okay? With 20% cold traffic, 80% warm, okay? This-
I actually ran this page recently to Warm and I got 73% for that one, based on 1,500 visitors. So
Yeah.
that one works really well.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's gone down since cold traffic started going to it, but it was, for a while, it was up above 80, 85, 90 even for a while. Yeah, we had 400 visitors and it was at 90% opt-in rate.
90% opt-in. I mean, we had people mail for us too. I mean, that's like a ridiculous opt-in.
But it's not, yeah, like Perry, his audience, that's not my list, you know, so that's warm traffic, but it's not.
Right.
But it's not just the layout, it's the copy that we have on here, okay? It's results driven. It's 7 lessons learned from 2,136 Facebook campaigns and over 3 million in ad spend. Several case studies showing cost per lead cut by 80%, okay? It's the copy and the design, both. Very, very important.
But you could use that as a lead magnet to cold traffic.
And it's Ralph's beautiful face being on there too with his goatee, right? Pretty good, actually. Okay, let's go to the next picture. Okay,
But
so
you could use that as your opt-in too. I mean, webinar, we used to say, don't use
Yeah.
a webinar for an opt-in, but that's all kind of changed. I mean, we've tested a lot of different things. It depends on your, I hate the answer, it depends, but you can do, you know, it depends.
Absolutely.
I don't
This
really
is-
know, but it's worth a test because it depends on what your product is. We found with one client going to a webinar directly instead of an opt-in and then a webinar actually got them to know, like, and trust him better, so it created more business after that.
So there's no good answer on that. In some cases, cold traffic to a webinar is your best option. If you're going to go to like honestly, if I was going to super ice cold traffic and I wanted to get someone to register for a webinar 3 days from now, and it's all cold traffic, I run video ads to this page, unless it's a video landing page. If I got a video on the landing page, then I'll just run a regular link post ad, click on it, come to the page. But if I'm going to have cold traffic that I want to opt in and show up, I'm going to use video as much as I can because, yeah.
Put video in the Facebook ad itself, not
Yeah.
on anything.
Upload an MP4 MOV file as your post, and then you're going to have your post copy in the ad saying something like, you know, discover the 3 biggest secrets of, you know, 3 big game-changing enhancements with Facebook's. I'm running a webinar in a couple days, blah, 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 blah. You can make the post as long as you want, and you've got a link. You just want to make sure the link in the post is like above the click here to read more. You got to make sure there's the link, they can see the link in the news feed. That's the key. And so those are some types of things, but we don't want to go too deep into video ads right now. But it's important because you have to think about what kind of lead magnet you're using and how that traffic is coming to that lead magnet. So these things are so important. That's why we can drive traffic to an Amazon listing with our $38 supplement, because we're using video ads. So, you know, in this case, no video. Yeah, you're going to get opt-ins if you're driving without a video, but if they're ice cold, we want to warm them up as much as we can because we want long-term conversions. It's tough because a lot of times you'll have people that are gurus that are teaching Facebook ads that are doing it the right way, but a lot of times the examples they're just using for their brand, and so they are running Facebook ads to maybe an audience that might not be their fans, but it's an audience that already knows who they are because it's another guru that's in their crowd. So sometimes you have to be careful, like seeing what you see out there, because because we have clients that are so in other niches that aren't famous and stuff like that. We've got a couple clients that have big brands, of course, like Jack Canfield and Perry Marshall and stuff. But we've got other people like the triathletes and other guys like Taki, who sells $18,000 coaching program, but he's from Australia. So when we're running ads in LA, people don't know who he is. So we're always trying to figure out how we can engineer this process to warm them up, like meeting them at the party, then sell to them later. So. Free book plus shipping. This works great. It's a great offer. In this case, it's get my book for 1 penny. It's like $17 on Amazon to buy it because it's a physical book like mine. And in this case, it's a 2-step opt-in. So they opt in, and then the next page is the order form. Say for $7 for this book, and then there's an upsell. Okay, that's like a tripwire offer.
That's not the greatest landing page, by the way. So in this particular case, we don't have total control over a lot of ad copy. I would totally change up that. We were arguing with that for months about this, but we wanted to change up the ad copy, change up everything. We've since changed everything.
So what did we do
It's
instead?
converted pretty
What did we do instead? Because we didn't have control over that, so what did we do, Ralph? What kind of ad did we use to bring traffic in? In most cases.
a lot. No, we did video.
Exactly.
We used this right here. put that in the news feed.
Even though that's on the page. But notice how there's a lot of distractions here. This is your typical squeeze page that we like with Facebook ads. It works great with warm traffic, so a lot of Perry's audience, they actually do know him. So we actually were running this ad. It's an awesome ad. It's a trailer for the book. It's a 2-minute trailer, but it's got like, and by the way, notice how we use the Michael Gerber quote. He's got a testimonial from Michael Gerber, and we use that as the pre-play. Now, granted, that's got too much text in the ad, but what we would do is we kind of use a loophole. It's a little tougher to do now. I don't think you can actually even do that now, but I don't know, I'm digressing. But sometimes, basically my point is the pre-play image that you show is a big deal. And what we would try to do is we would get the ad approved, and then we'd switch it so we show something really good, and that would help. But now that the videos are pre-playing anyways, the whole point is we're bringing warmer traffic there to get to the page. So now here's an example of the same offer, the same funnel, but right now we're trying to go wider, bigger, broader audiences, scale out, right? So we're like, what can we put in front of that? Because guess what? People that don't know Perry Marshall might not want his book right away, even if it's only $7, right? So we're trying to, right now we're testing. This is working good on the front end. It's not converting that great to book buyers. So we're actually rolling out another one. But the point is we can get twice the opt-in rate with something like this as we can with this, right? Because in this case, they're actually opting in to buy. It's a 2-step order form, right? It's a penny plus $6.99 shipping. Instead, what we can do is we can actually drive traffic and make this kind of page as like the second step. This is like the thank you page to this. So we can drive traffic, discover one specific 80-20 principle hack that can double your business without adding a single new customer. They opt in, and then they watch a video, and then he says, by the way, buy my book. So it's just another way to get those people. Free, same thing. Free physical products plus shipping, similar to the book. This is a great offer. They're basically getting this is a credit card knife. This actually isn't the best screenshot. This is the second page, I believe. Yeah, what happened here? Did I hit? Yeah, something. That's okay. Yeah, but I feel like there's an image that's over. Hold on a second. Yeah, so that's the second it's supposed to come in. So that's the landing page. Free credit card knife. Enter your shipping details, $2.95, okay? And then they were selling 1,000 these a day on Facebook. They're still selling them online, and then Facebook started disapproving their ads because I think they just didn't like the idea of 1,000 knives going out to people in the U.S. every day. so, like if you look at
Somebody a gun.
yeah, I know. You look at some of the screenshots on the ads of this, but it's an irresistible offer. And then the goal is to get them to buy something else and get on continuity. It's a membership site. So the next step is basically to. This is actually a separate offer. It's a survival business card. It's another similar kind of offer. So, same thing. Probably no women have seen this unless I've seen it on like a training, but I've seen this ad plenty of times. And it's to go to Dollar Shave Club. Does anybody not know what Dollar Shave Club is? Most people do. They've got a really cool video talking about why they got this super funny video talking about why it's a waste of money to spend like $15 on a razor, and you're replacing it's just expensive. So like it's a really good video, and they have a great offer. It's $1 a month. That's their low one. Of course, they're going to upsell you to like $15 a month. It's the goal. But the point is in this case, the offer is the sale. The offer is the sale because it's low enough. It's an impulse buy offer. So
It's not a tripwire. It's not something after the opt-in. It is the offer.
yeah.
So, although I think, getting the name and the email and then on the next page offering them something to buy is definitely a solid strategy. But sometimes you can just send them right direct to something that's low ticket enough that they actually buy. We have another client that sells, talking about physical products. Physical products, it's an overlay for radiators. Who would have thought? We were running Facebook ads for them for a year, the same ad. All it is it's a $57 front-end product. Right to a landing page that when they click, goes to Home Depot. When it goes to Home Depot, you've got a lot of trust. So their conversion rates are really, really good. So we were on the same ad for a year that doubled their business. They're just adding another 2,800 feet to their warehouse
Facebook ads
from Facebook.
to Home Depot. So there's different ways you can do this. They're not driving traffic to a squeeze page. They're driving traffic to Home Depot. Okay, they want people to come in. So in their case, sometimes it's tough to actually track, right? But they know their business is improving fast.
They keep paying every month, so.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, and the reason why, and guess what? Guess what else? Especially those of you that have physical products and stuff like that, and you're trying to get physical products in stores, in GNC or something like that. This is a great way to show those stores that you got a legit product, because they want to see that your product can stand on its own. This is how you do it. So, some cases you can take that as an investment. For example, an older client of mine, they do $200,000 or $300,000 a month in TV direct response infomercials. But those infomercials drive their Amazon. They sell $150,000 a month in Amazon product sales. But the reason is because of their infomercials. Now, they should be running tons of Facebook ads, but they're an older client of mine and they're old school. That's a whole other story, because they're not ready to move to the next level. And so they're leaving about $5 million a year on the table, because what you can do on Facebook, it's powerful. So, software free trial in this case. The goal is to they're testing different lead magnets in this situation, more like one specific tip lead magnets. But this is also it's a free offer, but it's a demo, so it's a free trial. And then after they opt in for the free trial, the next step is to get them on a call, schedule a demo, because they're selling a $3,000 setup and a $300 a month software. So, and then here is a product that you can drive right into Amazon. This is actually the guy that I was talking about before. So,
Who's asking about this one?
yeah. So basically, the only reason we're able to drive traffic to Amazon is because we're using a video testimonial in this case. So,
May I ask,
sure.
is this the only channel he's selling on? Is Amazon the only
No.
channel he's selling
Well,
on?
no, they sell a lot from their own website too.
So why directly the lead to Amazon, where you have to pay Amazon their fees, when you can just as well sell on your own channel and make all the money?
Great question. There's a couple different reasons why. And I'll let you expand on this, but I'll start with number one, Amazon. Once you start to get momentum in Amazon, you can get to, for example, the first page, you get a lot, you start to get Amazon to sell for you, right? So if you can get to that level, then you start, it's like you get the snowball going down the hill, then Amazon can do the rest. Amazon retargets. They do a lot of retargeting. Right? So that's one of the big reasons why it's to increase their ranking. Their ranking has gone from page 4 to almost page 1 from the Facebook ads. Now, if you're running traffic to Amazon and you're not getting conversions, that's not really going to help your Amazon rank. So you still got to have a product that sells. So that's why normally I say don't drive traffic directly to your Amazon page. The only way you can do this is if you have a good video testimonial and it's the right price. So it's just specific situations. But yes, they run traffic to a survey. It goes into their website. We've got different things we're getting ready to test and have tested. This is just part of the funnel. But right now, it's absolutely the majority of the spend.
I mean, one of the highest converting and most trusted websites
And that's
in the world is Amazon. I mean, it's the greatest upsell. I mean, if you want to learn how to do e-commerce, I mean, you just say go to Amazon. And
Amazon
how
Prime.
they upsell, how the ease of it, one click. People who bought this also bought it. It's amazing. So yeah, they make less in margin doing it, but the conversions is fantastic. And Titus knows this firsthand because he's on this client. They're now saying, we're doing really well on Amazon, but we're giving a lot of it away. So we want to send it to our page. It's not as easy. You have to have a very good converting page. And they were struggling with that. We did a test, and now we've actually stopped that test so that we got a bunch of data on it, eye tracking data and heat mapping data, so that we're redoing that page and they're going to relaunch it, try to do the same thing to their own site. But still, the trust factor isn't there like it is with Amazon.
I get that. I think you mentioned before that they have a lot of repeat customers.
Yes.
So those are the customers that you want to move to their own website instead of those customers going back to Amazon and keep on.
Well, that's a good point. Once they make their initial purchase through Amazon,
Then
now they're on to them. So if they can be cost neutral, on this, and they're actually cash flow positive. Titus, correct me if I'm wrong. I
Immediate.
don't know, he's on Facebook back there. He's probably checking on their ad campaign. They're making money off the Amazon ads, or are they cost neutral on the Amazon ads?
No, they make money on it.
They make money.
Immediately, yeah.
Yeah. But they make even more after the fact, after that initial purchase, so repeat buyers.
So can they track sales off Facebook to this to a sale?
Unfortunately,
Specifically?
you can't have a conversion pixel on Amazon.
Okay.
You can't have a specific tracking link for Amazon or for Home Depot, like the one that I was using before, which really kind of stinks. But they look at before and after sales
Right.
and what are they driving. It's not a refined tracking mechanism. But like I said, they keep paying. They're happy. They're thrilled. They're like, oh my God, our Amazon sales are up like this. Our Home Depot sales are up like this. Let's keep going and let's scale it out. So,
Cool. So basically, let's see here. What we want to do now is actually let's take a 1 minute little like quick stand up, do some stretching, then we're going to do some exercises here with the lead manual. It's kind of we're going to do lunch at 12:30. Might be like 12:40 by the time we start. So we'll do like a little 2 minute break. So everybody hop up. Got any ideas for exercise?